we should be back now. With what's left of this. Well, it's always been open. But anyway, the Maxwell mobile. We have to add a few things. I have been thinking the suspension tuning. The suspension tuning is needing doing. Just a reminder about 2-speed again. Oh dear. The 2-speed is not a good transmission. I also don't have music, which we can just continue that. It's all set up from earlier, so yeah, that's working. It's very low. I mean, maybe there's advantages to raising it up. Not for sportiness. I believe it's probably quicker being fully lowered out. Although there is also another thing, like just generally thinking of the suspension and stuff. We have these larger wheels. I don't know if I think I did that on stream. We can make the tyres larger because I was just thinking they are quite small. Does it complain about tyre size? The rear tyres have a low profile. It complains there. I could just like change that until it doesn't have any complaints about the profile size. Because surely there should be no issues once I do that. Like there is space, I mean, for slightly larger tyres. And as long as this thing is still accelerating, which it is somewhat accelerating. So 4.8, we can get the acceleration there. I mean, there's also the springs just in general. Yeah, we can make it more comfortable by raising it up. But it doesn't help sportiness. I mean, I could just raise it up a little, just so it takes curbs. Because making it that, yeah, making it ever so slightly taller doesn't hurt it for sportiness almost at all. And then there's always the case, maybe I can get it back by adjusting other stuff. Because I'm not opposed to having this thing riding a little higher. Like, this is almost low as it'll go. But it isn't quite there. And I think that might count for something. We do have travel just because it is a MPV body, which will naturally have more travel. It's still quite low in the grand scheme of things, but still. We can stiffen it up, and I think we're going to need some anti-roll bars as well. Just to stop this thing rolling around corners, which wouldn't be entirely new for one of these random builds. I will get back to the interior. The interior does need working on. But the suspension does as well, and the brakes. They all need a little bit of work. Having the extra kind of extra meat in the tyres will help this vehicle take bumps and such in a way that maybe it wouldn't have quite with the less chunky tyres. We're still on 19-inch wheels, which is on the larger side, but it's a case of kind of what works. If 19-inch wheels is where the performance is, then why not go for the 19s? So the rear dampers are hard. Front dampers are presumably okay. Ah, so if I make this larger, I think stiffening up the dampers. Sportiness does seem to like stiff springs and stiff dampers, so if we can stiffen this thing up. Like, even so, we're still getting higher sportiness score by just making everything stiffer, or at least the same. No, it just doesn't like the rear dampers that much. I mean, I can see there's advantages to having it softer. Yeah, it really just doesn't like rear dampers being stiff at all, or it complains. Now, the suspension is very good. And the thing weighs like under 1550 kilos, but we have overall a good setup. I think 2.8 on the dampers is fine. Stiffen this up about as much as I realistically can, just to go with those dampers so we're not winning something extremely soft. So 5.2, that should be good. Then we can try raising this up on the front. How does a front take to softer dampers? It's, okay, so for clearance it's always an issue. I've put the largest engine I possibly could in. At least for stroke. Well, at least for bore, should I say, because that's how it works. I don't know if I want it stiffer on the back, but it seems to be working, having this set up. I can also somewhat cater for it with the dampers and stuff. Music is still going. It's just not picking up very much. Yeah, like the front can get a lot softer with stiffer dampers. I don't know, that might just be to do with a double wishbone layout. Yeah, and the front dampers are hard. So eventually, yeah, it does catch up with it. So, do we want more ride height? Not particularly, but it doesn't hurt so much as you might think. I mean, as I say, it will attack the bumps on the edge of a circuit and the curbs and stuff a little better if it has some ride height to it. But I don't want to make it extremely tall or anything. Just anything that's kind of useful. Okay, so I think I'll go with maybe drivability. I don't know, because sportiness you'd think would want extra anti-roll. I don't know, like, why does the sportiness go down if I increase the anti-roll? I think if I go... I think it sometimes works in weird ways. So if I just raise the front up as much as I can without hurting the handling all that much, and then the back will also go up to balance it out. These things work in strange ways, but I can still, like, use the handling score. I just have to, like, use it in a slightly different way to what you might think. Because, as I say, now the handling is going up a bit when I stiffened it up. So that works. I mean, yeah, I must reiterate, like, I will get the handling score back up again with stiff anti-roll bars. It's just a little odd in how it calculates it. I think it might just be because the front and rear have to both be stiff to get the best handling. See, like, now the handling score is going up with stiff anti-roll bars on the front and the back. 0.7. Again, I kind of want them to be stiffer on the front, like, if that's kind of possible, because I can want them a little stiffer on the back. It's just not as ideal because the roll kind of carries through. I think if I can make these softer without reducing the handling score, I'll take that. Like, those are some pretty decent numbers for anti-roll. I think the thing will handle. So how are we? Clearance, weight, and lack of power steering. It doesn't have power steering, honestly. For, like, it's not even hydraulic ball. It's like, it is hydraulic ball. I was sure it selected rack and pinion. I was pretty sure it selected rack and pinion, but it's set up this way, so I'm just going to leave it. That kind of explains why it's not like a chronic yellow issue. It doesn't like the lack of power steering, but there's been worse. There's been heavier cars where it's not given them power steering. I think there was that 2.7 ton thing I had. 2.7, 2.8 tons, and that didn't give that power steering. At least this is just over 1500. So as I say, about 300 more than the toasty wheels, but the transmission is even worse than the 4-speed that had. And we have slight brake fade. Again, nothing to destroy the car's handling. So can we gain 33.3? Can we gain handling? I mean, I know more contact patch is supposed to be good for, like, braking. Yeah, 32. It does help it, having the extra contact patch. And then there's the gearing, though. So if I can keep it under 5 seconds, I will happily go with extra tyre width. And that will be good enough for me. Like, even with a terrible transmission, the best I can do is try and make this thing hold momentum around corners. So if we go 295, it's going to increase the rate of the car somewhat, but I think we should be good. I think the larger wheels also don't help with that at all. So 4.9, like, we can run these tyres super wide, and it just takes it. I can't really make them wider than this because of the body, and I hope we've already got fender flares and stuff. I mean, I've done what I can. Oh, 295, 290. It says I've got a low profile. Is it that low? I don't know, like... As I say, we can fit wider tyres. I think it's always bound to be low profile, though, in its mind. '20s, maybe? This is... Okay, this is 5 seconds. Does the tyre affect it? Okay, it's mainly that. It's mainly the tyres. So if we make the tyres smaller and just have abnormally large wheels... No, that's even slower. I think, like, the tyre width is going to play against it, but we can get away with, like, 18s, maybe even 17 inches. So I think it might be, like, 650 or so was the default. If I just keep making those tyres smaller... Yeah, 4.9, so it does gain speed there. Interesting, so... The drivability... Oh, no, the sportiness favours having very slim tyres. Does it favour even larger 20s? No. Okay, so 19s are probably the right size, to be quite honest, for this car. And then we can look at the sportiness to see what does it reckon. I think if it stays on 20.5, so 620, okay. They are kind of small wheels, but... I do trust there's something in there. It made the tyres small, which is interesting. That might have been to do with the size and stuff. I don't know. Probably. 21.5. Okay, a bit more sidewall is useful, apparently, on the wider tyres. I'll take that. I think I get where it's going, though. I think that's sporty, having a very small tyre sidewall. What works, works, I guess. I mean, a bit more sidewall isn't the most evil thing in the world, though. Let's go 630. Looks a little less out of place there, but they are granted a little small. And we are getting supposedly like 5 seconds 0 to 60. Come on, you can do better than this. I maybe believe myself, maybe I don't. I want to do under 5 seconds, but it's on a 2-speed. That is kind of tricky. Can I go... If I make those smaller... There we go. Okay. Slightly smaller tyres and we can break into the 4.9s. It's not the quickest it's ever been, but it's under 5 seconds, so I'll take that as enough of a win with a 2-speed transmission. I'd say they look small, the wheel and tyre combo. It's possible it's just that way because the wheels are so large and the tyres are so slim, but... Then, if it works, it works. We've got 31.4, so we have improved the braking performance with the wider tyres. And as I say, there is a lot more meat to these tyres, but we've only lost like 0.1, maybe just under 0.2 of acceleration speed. So it's not hurting the thing as much as you may believe. We can widen out the rear track. So I feel we might as well do that to stop it rolling and stuff. 4.9. We've not lost any speed by widening out the rear track. Again, if I can get this under 5 seconds, I will count that as a victory. A small victory, but a victory no less. Now, we do have the space that these wider tyres may allow better brakes. 31.5. Yeah, larger brakes, I think they just add so much weight that it can't really do anything with it. 21.5. I will see. Like, I will see what I can do. 320. They don't need to be the largest brakes in the world. They just have to do their job. So I think with 31.5, was it? 0.4. So 31.4. I think it was like 340. Yeah. As long as I'm getting like the maximum performance possible, the brakes don't need to get any larger. And then we can try adjusting the rears. It reckons there is sportiness improvement to be had, but the drivability starts dropping, meaning it's probably just going to oversteer. I don't know, it's got no ABS, so whatever works is going to work, but I just don't know. I have to try and like balance out sportiness and everything. So, how have we got? 31.4. I don't think this is going to affect that part of things. So 21.4. When it starts dropping for sportiness, then I'll call it like the balancing point between sportiness and drivability. Yeah, so about 250 it reckons. 31.5 could probably raise up the rear force just a little to get it back into balance. Or maybe not, maybe just raise the size. I think that's as good as I can get. Like, that's as low as I can go at the back without losing any kind of brake performance. And brake fade, I don't believe is an issue. No. At least not a serious issue. We aren't using drums either on the front or the rear. We got quite lucky there. So, that's definitely a good thing. Now, I think mechanically this is done about as much as we can. It brakes very well, thanks to some fine tyre and wheel size and stuff adjustments. And then we do have to get the trim and body aesthetics. We need a steering wheel. What steering wheel would a Maxwell choose? Oh, that's interesting. There's a whole bunch of stuff here we could use for a cat bed. But we've already done it. If only. I mean, these are like... They look like the ones in my winter car, but the lower trim versions, somewhat. What are they? They look like they are made of food or something. I don't know. I feel like I have another idea. I'm using a lot of these kind of vintage seats, though. Actually, since it is a performance car, it wouldn't be a terrible idea to go with bucket seats. Because it asks for 4 seats. That says to me it could be bucket seats front and rear. I'm going to need to find a thing. There's like full sets of floors here. Do 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 do. Do do do. Okay, that's nice actually. That goes up there, like covering the rear. I can probably actually just, for now, remove the body. The basic chassis can stay there, but it can be a little better covered than it was. Just got to find the right point at which this kind of changes over, for lack of a better term. Hi not Zeus. It's I can't make it a 3-seater because the wheel decided on 4. Like, where is it? There we go. I had a random wheel. Like, that's basically chosen all the specs here, and it chose 4 seats out of like 4, 5, 6, however. But that's why I've got 4. So I also chose the MPV body. Like, that's how this car basically came to be. We got a front engine though. We got a V10 and front wheel drive. It's, yeah, I've not got the wheel up. It's got the V10 10, all-wheel drive, single-point fuel injection, or front-wheel drive, sorry. So it's, yeah, so the wheel just shows a whole bunch of stuff. We got actually very lucky. I'll go onto the platform. We've got some very good configurations here. Fully independent suspension. It hasn't been allowed any aerodynamics, so this isn't actually a rear wing. This doesn't actually provide any downforce. It's actually a rear bumper, or a front bumper. It's actually like a chrome bumper, but I painted it pink to match the car. That doesn't do anything for downforce, but it looks cool. So, if anything, at that angle, it'll probably make lift, to be honest. It's done some weird things, and then I just went obsessed with Maxwell's. So that's why there's Maxwell's. I built another couple of cars, and I used the whole Maxwell thing. So, got the Maxwell wagon. Like, this was where it started. It makes a, it makes weird supercharger noises when you lift off, and it sounds exactly like a cat, so... Yeah, its rear engine, this has leaf springs on the front and double wishbones on the rear. And Maxwell has a hat. Like, that's where I started going crazy with just putting Maxwell in everything. It gave me a pickup truck, and I'm like, that's cat bed sized. I can work with this. And then that's where the whole Maxwell thing started out, and I'm apparently making more Maxwell cars as things have taken a turn of fate. I also have the badge. I have a special wheel badge. That's a Corvette style window for our cat, which provides all the power in the car. He has a book, and he has like a coffee cup somewhere. Can we move the body? Yeah, I had fun doing that. And then I've thrown some interior stuff together a bit earlier. Yeah, in this build, the wheel has been very generous. It's built some weird things. I can show them when I export this to BeamNG a little later. It has built a huge variety of things while I've been messing around with it. It's a fun thing to do, I feel, because it can either be cruel or it can build an extremely good vehicle. I got racing slicks as well. I got racing slicks, but it only let me use steel wheels. Yeah, I know, Maxwell is super powerful. And as you can see, we are not done adding Maxwells. So, I have some ideas there. I just love going crazy and adding loads of Maxwells. This body I've chosen also, it's a Volkswagen Sharon body from like late 90s, early 2000s. I've used this for one reason, it fits a large engine transversely. Like, that's the only reason I've used this body. And it's also, like, the wheel said mid-size, so this is the best car that kind of fits within those kind of constraints. So that's why I'm using the Volkswagen body. Just technical reasons, really. It's nothing like it's the best body, the prettiest body or anything. It just works. Yeah, it is kind of like that. The Renault Espace F1, and it's probably a space, but I don't know. That's how I always remember it. I think that was mid-engine though, so it does have its similarities. But that was mid-engined rear drive. This is front-engine front drive. I mean, I could have made the cat bed deeper, but honestly, I just got lazy. There, I only have so much time to like throw at making an interior in one day. If I was doing this as a long-term project, I could spend so much longer on the interior. It also does have a space frame. So I guess in some ways, yeah, I can see the resemblance. Mine has a 2-speed transmission though, remember. So in general, it's been kind, but it also decided you only get 2 gears. Because... So I'm just hoping this thing still goes. It doesn't seem to be mirroring this. There we go, now it's mirroring it. That's a bit strange. I think I could do something with that centre section of the interior. I could probably change that. Is that glossy plastic? I think it matches that a little better. So we are going to need some, I think it's just a square or something on 3D. Like the best way I can do this right now. Basic shapes. This will do a job. It's not the prettiest way of doing things, but as I like to say, it's functional. There we go. If we enlarge that, can hopefully line that up decently well. I would say keep that pink actually, because I've got like these pink Maxwell beds. I've called it the Princess Maxwell carriage because the wheel did roll pink. It rolled like a pink and a different pink. So that's actually where the colours come from. Well, it wasn't technically a wheel. It was like a random colour generator, but the same kind of idea applies. Ah, hi, car and video game nerd. I don't know, so I never seem to get people here, and then suddenly one stream is super popular. I don't know, YouTube is weird. Anyway, Maxwell's. Maxwell's the main thing that's going on in a car that I have created with options chose by a random wheel. We need to add a lot of Maxwells. I think this Maxwell can be the same size as the front one. So I like to have them like looking out the window. I guess it's not going to work so well with this one because the bed is so tall, but I can kind of work that idea into there. Maxwell is very powerful. Maxwell is a very powerful engine. So, yes, it is indeed a V10. The V10 is in the front, and it's front-wheel drive. 5 litres as well. I probably didn't mention it's a 5-litre engine. We need some seats. Oh, these are quite nice. I like these classic ones as well. But I'm going for something I think sporty, because that's how the overall wheel prompts seem to have decided to build this car. At least one thing's for sure, Maxwell will be nice and warm. I mean, I didn't used to bother doing interiors on these randomised builds, but it just kind of became a thing. The last time I built one, there was an interior. I actually did a better job of it than I thought I could. Yeah, I wish it would give me 1,000 horsepower to be honest, but it's managed to, it gave me 350 or just under 350, which is pretty good, honestly, for a randomised engine. If it had a turbo or a supercharger, which the wheel did not opt for, it would have been better, but then we're still talking front wheel drive, so I doubt it would put that power down. Oh no, you know what, I'm missing something. I'm missing something obvious. I probably won't go full, pink on this, but I can trim them in pink. I could also do that with the door cards and stuff. They can have some pink trim. And then I'll just keep the black to complement it, hopefully. I have got a custom 8-ball thing actually on the stream avatars. So I modified the 8-ball in the stream avatars, so it does it goes like Sakura instead of what do you call it, 8-ball. So that's something that works. I mean, Sakura said I should go to jail before because I cheated at the Battle Royale, so that was something that happened. So I think we've mostly done this, I think. Just there's one piece, there we go. I'm quite liking this. Most of that's just wood, and I'm happy to keep it that way. Now, these seats, there is a purpose for them. There is a reason why it needs 4 seats. Move them forward slightly. Not the best interior config, but the space. for 4 seats. We will need a steering wheel and a bit of stuff, plastic or something up the front. Has the 8-ball decided not to work, or is it just being slow? I did modify that in the avatars stuff, so... That's something. The floor is kind of missing. I'll have to do something about that as well. There is the joys of 3D. Just like spam a load of these pieces in until it vaguely looks correct. It hasn't actually got rear... It hasn't got rear... what do you call it? Trim at all. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the turbo, though, I would like a turbo and I would like a supercharger or just something, but the wheel chose NA, because I gave it 4 options as there's, like, more than one turbo option in the game, and I didn't want to just cheese it so it was, like, going to select a turbo regardless. It's like, I give it 4 options. I give it NA, supercharged, turbo, and twin-charged, and so... It chose out of those 4. I've had twin-charged random builds, and I've had turbos and supercharged before. And in this case, it just chose to have a NA one, which works with a car, honestly. The one thing I don't like about it is the 2-speed automated manual. Like, that is just downright bad. So, we have fixture materials, glossy plastic. I think that fits well enough together there. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But also, as I say, Maxwell. Maxwell is our king. So, we have to do this. There we go. I think the last car had 5 Maxwells in, and I feel like I have to outdo my past self, so... Turbo and supercharger would be twin charged. So I have, as I say, I had 4 options I gave it, which were, it chose between a turbo, a supercharger, a twin charged, which is a turbo and a supercharger together, and a NA. And in this case, it chose for NA, so that's what I've gone with. There are like 3 different turbo setups in the game, like different fancier turbos, a single turbo, and that's why I only gave it 4 options, because it just gives it an unfair bias to turbos if I don't like sort it that way, and then allow it to choose one of the 3 if it gets a turbo. I mean, it does love choosing cross-ply tyres and front drum brakes. It hasn't done that on this particular car, but it has a tendency to do that. So the fact I got radials and race radials at that is actually pretty impressive. I could mirror the Maxwell, actually, but I've already done it now. Just going to save this because I don't want to lose all my design progress. So, we'll lower these. Now, we have got the 5 Maxwells. But as I say, I did 5 Maxwells on the SUV type thing I built last week. So, because as a truck, there's like the Maxwell Wagon, which was, that was like the SUV. I know it's not technically a wagon. SUV and wagons are different, but it seemed like a fitting name. And then, we could have a cat in the middle, but there's no seat there. We don't want our cats to get thrown about. The one thing about the Maxwell Mobile, that actually makes cat noises though when you lift off. It's hard to explain, but it does sound like a cat. This interior has started coming together really quick. I thought of giving it like a crown on top of a car. I'm not sure how it would do that, but it would be a fun idea. So how many is this? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 Maxwells. Okay, so that's better than the last one. We have included more Maxwells, therefore this car will definitely be quicker. There we go. I thought that front had gone wrong. No. It's like that grill just goes to the cat bed. It doesn't really cool the engine. I'm thinking actually, because this is sporty, I could have like a couple of side vents. I also don't want this thing to overheat, so extra vents are not necessarily going to hurt it. I feel maybe these would work. Ah, it's doing that thing. Sometimes it does this thing and it like doesn't add trim unless I click off and on again the tab. Oh yeah, on the glove box I could. I couldn't put one in the glove box, but I can put one on top of a dash. A little one. I wonder if I could actually do... I've had an idea. I could add like a Maxwell bobblehead type thing. I have means of doing that. That should work. Because I did use it for the coffee cup in the front. I added like a little spring cup holder. I can use that same thing to add the Maxwell bobblehead. So, miscellaneous fixtures. I mean, it's somewhere. At this point, I'm probably just better off finding where it is on here and then duplicating it. Because I can use shift and drag. It's just easier than trying to dig up wherever the original is. Not original, where the kind of thing is in the selector. Oh yeah, true. I do need a roof scoop. I'll add the bonnet ones I said, and I will also add a roof scoop. Now, how I'm going to get the bobblehead working, though, I'm going to just make this smaller, because... No, I think I'm resizing that in the other direction. I need to resize it in, like, the... I don't know if it's length and width. I don't know how exactly to call it, because it's kind of like 3D stuff. I don't know how you call the X, Y, and Z axis. But this is going to be the basis of our bobblehead. We can make that kind of plastic so it matches the dash somewhat. I don't think it's a perfect match. I think the dash is like leather, but it's close enough that it doesn't hurt it too much. Got to have all of the Maxwells. Now, the driver's seat doesn't have a Maxwell because that's where we drive our Maxwells around. Like, that's the concept I'm going with. I don't think Maxwell will reach the pedals, so we have to help Maxwell go fast. There is horizontal and vertical lines. Unless that's racing stripes, I could try and do that. Oh dear, Maxwell has disappeared. I keep making Maxwell just go to the back rooms. Like, it just disappears to the back rooms if I seem to grab the thing wrong. I feel like he's a bit too vertical. Like, if I squash that down a little. I don't know what... I think Maxwell came in a mod. He is like the best addition to automation. We must use this. There is a Maxwell they added to my winter car as a mod. I've not got it working yet, but I would love to get that working. Oh dear. Sent him to the back rooms again. There is our Maxwell bobblehead. To go with the other Maxwells. I think what we need a window on the top so the Maxwells can see. We also do need the roof scoop. Where's the window? Well, I found the scoop. I was looking for the window. I found the scoops. We can add a nice large scoop. Like, this one's pretty massive, so that should hopefully provide them with enough air. It doesn't go anywhere, but we don't talk about that. Unless I can change that on the settings. Nah, I can't. I could make those black because I don't really have chrome elsewhere on the body. There we go. I don't think it is possible to make them sway. I mean, I could be missing out some obvious trick, but as far as I know... Oh, I can add prevent. As far as I know, there isn't like a way that you can make them sway. Can make that a little shorter and wider, perhaps. There we go. The Maxwells will not get too hot now. But that's just... It seems excess, but it works. Right, it's a sunroof. We need an extra sunroof. Oh, you know what? We can turn this into a convertible. I think that should go the other way. I mean, I think it still counts as an MPV if it's got a convertible roof on it. There we go. Maxwell's will not be getting too hot now we have a convertible roof on it, as well as a nice air vent on the front. There we go. Maxwell's can see the sky now. I mean, I would love to have, like, the Maxwell move. You can probably kind of make it sway if you mess with the numbers and stuff, honestly. But I don't know exactly how to do that. Because there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's somewhere around here. There's, like, code and whatever. You can make the steering wheels work, definitely. There's description. You can enter all kinds of stuff here. I know, I think I did a good job of it. The only thing I would wish for is alloy wheels, but the wheel didn't select alloys, so I've tried to make it the best I could with steelies, or heavy-duty steelies. Because I do want it to look vaguely like the wheel actually gets what it wants. Actually, you know, it does look better than I expected. The window on here, I was going for the C6 Corvette ZR1. Like, that window didn't go to anywhere, but, you know, it's like, you can have a window on the bonnet. It has been done, kind of thing. So the idea exists. All the Maxwells will go fast. It is also powered by a Maxwell, so that's why this is going to be the fastest thing ever. Even with a 2-speed transmission. I could add a wing mirror. Not a wing mirror. I could try and add a roof mirror, actually. I mean, I am also going with prompt wheel colours. Not wheel colours. I can actually bring it up. Random hex colour generator. Oh, not that. That's keyboard. That's what I use to select the colours. Yay, resemblance. I don't know. The idea is here, anyway. It is an automated manual. Like, that's what it's selected. So... in BeamNG, though, that does mean there's a manual mode. We are not just stuck with a Slushbox Auto. It isn't the absolute worst option we could have been given. And that says a lot, to be honest. That says a lot about how terrible some of the options in automation really are. Once you can get that, and it's not even the worst option. So, should be able to flip that on the correct axis. I don't know. If we go 3D... can change it in all kinds of axes. I'm going to have to put this here just because there's a lot of like gap here that doesn't do anything. There we go. Yeah, I mean, the wheel was nice. The thing is, like I like to say, the wheel always seems to be plotting something. Because it's like there's this toasty wheels, which ended up being like a Honda Civic show car from the early 2000s. That was, I mean, because it was like Hot Wheels, but I didn't want to get sued. That's kind of a joke, so I called it Toasty Wheels. That was pretty good overall, but you know what what it had to do? It had to give me actually just a generally very good build, and then it had to give me a single barrel eco carburetor, so it was going to choke out an otherwise brilliant engine and just make no power because of that. So if we go maneuver that round, then we can make this, I think I'll make it this pink colour. Rose, as it is called it, even though it's actually nothing like rose pink, because that's how it is. We can go then base cube L. Why isn't that in the middle? Is it... Oh, that's strange. I think it's just how it transfers. I can just mirror it though, and that should fix the issue. Should it? No, come on. Well, okay, that's the thing. It's kind of cheesy in it, but I can get that to fit. It's a Maxwell Princess Carriage, yay. And that is the actual name I have chosen for it. I mean, it's not perfect. I think the vision is showing well enough. I do have to show the other stuff because it has built some really fun cars. Really fun cars. Because it's a wheel. Ooh, I could try and add some race stripes though of some kind. I could actually, I don't know. Those doors are just messed up on the back, I've just realised. If I rotate them, I should be able to fix the issue enough. The panel fit won't be great, but we can only expect so much from my design skills, or lack thereof. There we go. The door panels, the door cards fit really badly. Oh, wow. So, we also have a single exhaust. I've put 3 exhausts on. 2 of them are actually fake. But I think it looks a little better. So, we don't need that cube there. Don't know what I was planning with that. I mean, it doesn't look exactly like a Volkswagen body anymore. So we do need to add a few little things on the back, and I think we'll be pretty much done. Funny, yeah, it is a bubble van. I mean, I think a few of the cars from the 90s did look like bubbles. Like, that was a kind of design theme you notice a lot on those cars. Things, I think, in the mid-2000s, they got a bit sharper looking. So each era has its own, like, theme. I think modern cars, they try and look sharp. But there's a lot of rounded edges, and I don't know what they're going for, really. Oh, you know what? I can actually use these. Use this old, like, design theme of having it look like it's moving when it's still, basically, and that's why we could use these. Do they look better the other way or that way? I think they actually look kind of more like they're moving if I have them facing this way, which wasn't the original intent, but there's some indicators. There we go. I think that's like more 50s and maybe even 60s. Have it look like it's moving when it's actually still. That was like one of those trends. There we go. There is that bit. That piece is annoying me because it's not lined up for colour at all. I do have all trim panels though. I can make that like the metal colour, which I think will look a little nicer than the plasticky ones. I don't know. Does it? I don't know if it looks better. Then there's that piece of trim down there, which I just don't think it works because it doesn't match anything. The thing doesn't have downforce, so I'm really going to lean on the front wheel drive for grip, I think. Now, there is some taillight design I want to do. I had, like, the idea on the original Maxwell car, actually, I did. The Maxwell mobile. And I have, like, these lights. It's gone on 3D mode. But I have these, like, round lights. And then I attach to these the indicators and stuff. I could probably actually find some better ones because they're pretty flat, so they don't cover up the indicators well at all. I could have that as like a reference to a wheel. I don't know. No, because they have to be one colour for this to work as I hope it works. I mean, these should work. They do, like, stick out a little, though. Like, I can just change this all to one colour and it should just all function as a brake light. Which is what I'm going for. R32. I can think of that, but like, I like the cattail lights. I'll see, because I could try getting an R32 rear to work. Oh yeah, I did. I mean, I don't know, because I think remember in the R32, they're like rocket thrusters. The R32, I think it was more squared off. I do like the cattail lights. It's not like a particularly retro theme I'm going for. It's just, it's kind of funny. And it's in keeping with the whole Maxwell theme. So if we have them... I think these ones should work if I get the right ones. I could go with actually... I could do, because Maxwell is like a dark grey cat. I could go with like smoked tail lights. Like, that would look sporty, I feel. Smoked tail lights. I don't know what colour I would actually end up using to get that smoked look, but I think it could work. And these are not the worst tail lights I've seen. Could make them a little larger because I think I have the space to do that. Looks like he's got massive eyes. I think, I don't know, I think the rocket boosters were probably like Cadillacs in the 50s. I had another idea though. You know, that's like, oh yeah, smoke tail lights. I was thinking, you know those vinyls people put on the lights to make them darker? Which I don't get at all, because like they stop you seeing when someone's braking, but in this particular vehicle's case, I feel like, that changes that trim. In this particular vehicle's case, I feel like it could work. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it working, but I was saying, the smoke tail lights, they stop look like you're braking, but it's closer to Maxwell's colour. But I don't think I can get that working. Granted, you know, for always have quad tail lights, I've had a brilliant way, I think, of Maxwellifying that. I mean, I guess some Cadillacs and stuff do have quad tail lights as well. Like, that's a thing that happens. Now, we do want indicators. So if we go find... Ooh, these are actually brilliant. I've used them already, but I think they might work even better here. And there is method to my madness. They actually go red when you put them there. And I'm grabbing the cat bed, apparently. So, there we go. Like, if we bring these two to the front, wherever they are, they will block off those other ones. This may become apparent. I think that music playlist has finished. Alright, let's come up with Ace Attorney music, so... I'll be going with that now. Because I've used it before. I was on Gran Turismo music. That was like a 3-hour playlist, but I continued this from earlier, and then time was taken up. Quite a bit of time was taken up. I mean, this can go make that the purple colour. We will be mirroring this. Yeah, I was thinking more of like cat ears. They do kind of work like horns, but the idea I was going with was cat ears. I guess they do look like horns as well. But like the cat ears was the idea that I was running with. There is actually another way I can do this though. So they're going to be like the reverse lights. Because I've got like double the lights I had to work with before. So the indicators, I'm going to have like 4 indicators, which is a bit ridiculous, I'll be honest, but Maxwell. Yeah, I can see the horns though. Probably have to move these lights in a little so we have the spacing. There we are. It's not perfect, but it's a little better. And I've just moved that down and it's just like now tearing into the bodywork. So there, what we're looking for. So we've got, yeah, we need the reverse lights here. Try and find ones that kind of match the others. I could go with those ones. Poor person's gonna be behind it. You know what? Speaking of which, speaking of the poor person behind it, I need to go back to the engine because, as I say, the wheel decided pretty much everything about this car. And you know what else it decided? No catalytic converter. So this is going to put out a lot of stuff to... Just a lot of, like, dirty exhaust fuel, like, fumes and stuff too, whoever is driving behind it. But hey, the wheel is all-knowing. We don't question what the wheel is thinking. Because the wheel is clearly the best engineer that ever has existed. So these need to all be, like, some kind of white colour. No, let's not gone to chrome. The thing is, they are indicators, but I want them to be different. Ibiza van. Wait, is that like the? I think it was like a Seat, wasn't there? Either that or it's someone in the country, Ibiza, which I think was a country. But yeah, if there was a Seat and they like skipped out on the muffler to save money, that I guess makes sense. So, I think that's reverse light. Yeah, so it comes up as reverse light if you change it to the correct thing. I mean, that will have to do. Like, I've changed them at the very least. So, can I flip that around? Not that way. No, it just doesn't work. So, the best way I can do is, like, glitch a mirror tool and, like, drag it across and then down again. This is our family of Maxwells, though, so this deserves to be in front of everyone because Maxwell needs to get to the shops quicker than everyone else. I mean, that ear looks a little off. If I drag that down... There we go. Oh yeah, European meme. I don't get a lot of them, honestly. I feel like I miss so many references. That's just how I am. I did say I wanted to add some scoops or something, vents on the front, but I never really got to it. So we have got, we've got these. Oh, there's some nice deep intakes. Can probably pivot these. Yeah. We need all the milk for Maxwell. What we do it all for Maxwell. Well, Maxwell is our princess. Maxwell is the #1 princess. That's why Maxwell has his own car. There we are. I feel like, you know what? I feel like we need to add a Maxwell. No, I've already got loads of Maxwells. I was going to think of putting it like a crown. If there is some kind of crown, just because it's a princess car. But I just don't know how I would do that. There's got to be something. I could try and like use the automation logo or something. I don't know. Oh, you know what? It would be a pretty bad crown, but if we could just like make one of these O's larger. Oh, yes. More cursed ideas. Oh dear, I've not... Now, if we could get something that was like kind of spiky. My prayers have been answered, yes. Put this in 3D mode. An idea has been had. Don't know if that music might be a little on the louder side. Put it down like 2 decibels or so. That should be a little better than it was. Anyway. Ideas have been had. So here we'll go, actually, you can make the inside transparent, I think. This is perfect. Yes! Maxwell must be a princess. The good thing is we can just, like, drag that to mirror it in a way. They're kind of sticking through. We don't talk about that now. Oh dear. Yeah. I don't think I've seen a crown like this before. We could actually flip those the other way up because I think they would work better that way. Like if I can actually get the right angle. I don't know, it's like... Okay, so there's a certain way we have to do this. Yeah, it's for future problems. You know what I think this is? Like, this is going to be a nightmare in an accident. Because, you know, like, I think it was the older Cadillac badges and Mercedes badges and stuff like that that they had to take out of production because they were just dangerous. It reminds me of that, because maybe for all the wrong reasons, it seems like something that's going to cause some disasters. But yeah, that's not... Yeah, I mean, could probably cover it with a roll cage. I'm not going to put all that in now, though, because a roll cage I think would be a little too much on top of everything else I've already done for this. But yeah, I do put all the car files for these sooner or later on the Discord I have, so... Which is in the channel description. Sooner or later, put all the car files there, so anyone with automation can mess with them and, you know, change it how they feel. Because it's just the best way I could think to share this stuff. And then I try and also put them on BeamNG, but I'm not good at uploading to that website as quickly. Yeah, the roll cage would be a good idea, honestly, but it wouldn't be something I'd have time to mess with right now. I do want to drive the thing. My arm is doing that thing again. Like, I spent so long designing a car, and then my arm doesn't like staying in the position on the mouse for so long. Right, the crown is getting somewhere. It's not the best looking crown I've ever seen, but it is a crown. There we go. So, oh dear, I've grabbed the wrong I've grabbed wrong doodad. Like, doodad is now an official term to speak about automation stuff. We call them doodads. That is like an official term now in the engineering world. Doodad and doohickey, that's how engineers describe stuff. Yeah, the crown's getting there. The crown is going somewhere. I'm not sure it's supposed to end up where it's going. I feel like, you know what I feel like? This car, it would have the crown held down by like double-sided tape. I feel like it wouldn't actually be held down properly. Just to put some double-sided tape on and go, how could this possibly go wrong? There we go. Like, it's not the best crown ever. The closer you look, the worse it'll get. But it's like the princess crown we all needed on this kind of car. And then I do need to use the O again, because I use that for, like, the wheel logo, which I have created. I mean, it's very simple. It's nothing particularly advanced, but I think it adds to the overall nature of how these cars are supposed to look. So we have that, and then we have, like, basically a letter V, which I have rotated. Like that. So we'll... Wait, they're both on 3D, I think. Yeah, we don't want them on 3D at the moment. The game seems to have a difficult time, like, just defaulting things to 2D if you've been on 3D before. No less. Yeah, I mean, the gold, I mean, as I say, I will have the car files out there, but as I am designing this, it's with the colours that the wheel has decided. So, I can bring that up again. Like, the wheel has decided upon these colours, so that's mainly what I'm trying to use. I could add a tiny bit of chrome or gold trim or something, and it wouldn't hurt it, but... Unless the crown being gold, I could definitely try that. Sorry, I'm thinking I'm being dumb. The crown can definitely be gold. It can be gold or bronze or something like that kind of colour. Actually, I have a character I've created and there's like brass coloured as like the accessories. Works quite well for her. Yeah, I can make the crown gold. I was thinking the car. I'm just being dumb. Okay, unfortunately, I thought I could make it gold. It's not letting me tweak the colours. It lets me tweak the colours here, so I can have, like, the top spikes being gold. Yep, the wheel... I don't know if I showed it. The wheel chose these colours. Like, I just got lucky, because as much as I love pink, I got, like, 2 pink-type colours. And then I kind of work on it from there to see, like, what can I make with this that makes some kind of sense. So I can make this gold, though, on the top. Like, just making the crown gold. I don't have any issue with that. I think if I go with kind of yellow chrome, that should do the job. One of these colours will probably appear more like gold. Somewhere here. I think that looks quite gold to me. Maybe. I think that one's a little more, like, explicitly gold, so to speak. Can do this part easily. I just can't change the base because it won't let me. That's, like, locked. Oh, dear. What are you doing? I think I might have deleted the gold colour. Ah, dear. I can get that back. There we go. The game just hasn't even bothered. It's just like Gar. I'm just going to call the colour Gar. It's like Mare even. I need to grab these in the correct way so they actually don't move. I think this is decent though, like a silver and gold crown. I mean, if it's a small enough touch, as I say, it's fine me kind of going against the wheel. Like I did with some of the black trim on this car. Because it's small enough that I don't think I'm going to affect the main design features by doing that. There we go, like that's the best I can do for making the crown gold. I don't know, I feel like it looked better silver because of the mismatched colours. I mean, if I could find something to change that, but I can't right now. I don't want to redo the whole crown. I don't want to redo the whole crown, so I think we're pretty much done here for design, other than maybe a few minor stuff. I could add a little bit of a bump on the back if it has the slider for it, and that wouldn't, again, destroy it. There we go. I can give it like a massive American Dad chin. I think he has like a large chin. I don't think I want to go that far. So the wheel logo, I think we'll put that on the back, and then it'll be as done as it needs to be. For now, at least. I can have like something float there in the middle. I'm just thinking of giving it like a halo or something, but I think that's, as I say, that's just more than I need to do. The back looks a bit unfinished, but all the essentials are there. I mean, I'm getting used to putting grills and stuff on the back because it builds a lot of rear-engined or mid-engined cars, but this is not. This is just front-engined. So that can go there. There we go. Almost. I keep putting this like so it's not quite centered. That I think is good enough. I could go with some black door handles. I mean, I think it would bring it together a little more. So, change these two. And I think that's pretty much done. At least as far as I can realistically go. I could keep tweaking this for ages and ages, but I don't think that would work all that well. I just end up making it worse. I did do all the mechanicals, I believe, so it's 1564 kilos. They always seem to get a bit heavier. I've got the 2-speed restricting the top of line speed, because that's just how it's ended up working. So, pretty much, yeah. Okay, thank you for subscribing, Not Zeus. I'll probably be doing another one or two of these. I will be exporting this though now, and I'll be testing it on Beam. So in the stream replay, there will be the part of me testing this. I will also hopefully at some point have an edited version, because I do edit these videos. I've got like 3 of them to upload that have been processed and exported and stuff. So yeah, I'll see you another time, hopefully. And yeah, as I say, it will be on the replay on YouTube. If you just need to see the finished build, driving and stuff. So, I think I exported it. I have to do it again now to make sure, because my mind's not working. So, come on. Yay! I mean, as I say, also, if you have automation, there is that Discord that I put in the channel description that will have the files on, so you can just mess with them, mess with the files that there already are. I do need to upload the Maxwell mobile and the others, but they will be up there eventually. Probably do them when I finish streaming. And just so I don't show all my stream and everything, the best Viglin keyboard ever. Which I'm currently using. That thing finds its way onto my desk, and it always finds itself onto my desk somehow. Like, no matter what I do, that beaten up Vigeland keyboard from the early 2010s always finds its way back onto my gaming PC. BeamNG should be loading up now. Do. I can stop that music actually while I get into Beam. So it's suddenly gone quiet. Yeah, so Beam is showing properly. Where could I take this? Just for a bit of play around. There's Utar extra Utau? Yeah, no, Utar. I confuse it because Utau is like the Vocaloid alternative, but Utau and Utar, they sound so similar. Teto was actually on Utau and then eventually moved to, what's it? Got my Wover 75 successor I built for fun. That wasn't a real Carvo. Got caps lock on. So, where is it? There we go. Couldn't miss it. So, yes, I'm expecting the music. Just without the music, it's suddenly gone so quiet. I'm not used to it. Also, me can move across. I've had that issue before, and my avatar actually ends up blocking the speedometer in BeamNG. It works in automation where it was, but if I don't remember to move it, it causes issues. So, okay, come on, load in. We must use the car. Yeah, sometimes it just takes ages to load in. Might as well stretch my arm a little, because I've been on that mouse a long time. Okay. I will be time trialing this as well. But I want to bring all the Maxwell cars together because they are fun builds. Maybe I should change my avatar. It'll give me something to do. There we are. It's got the crown. The crown actually looks better in person, I feel, on Beam. So then we also have the Maxwell mobile. Replace current? No, we don't want to replace current. Spawn new. My head is not working today. That one actually makes cat noises. Then let's hope this doesn't spawn halfway through a lamppost or something. This is a little quieter. More muffling going on. Might be running on leaded fuel. I think it's on nitromethane or something, which the wheel seems to love choosing. Oh, this sounds amazing. I don't think it's too loud on there. I mean, I think I'll just use the paddle shift on this because I can't be bothered using the full H gate for 2 gears. The camera wasn't centered. You know what? It moves okay. Considering the lack of gears, it actually doesn't move as badly as it could. There's definitely grip. And as I predicted, you shift into 2nd gear and then nothing. Perhaps the hill makes it worse. It probably wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't on a hill, like it is. Come on. Little bouncy, but it's overall pretty well swung. I love the sound of this. When it gets going, but then the 2nd gear. I think you have to just keep it in 1st gear until you absolutely have to shift, or it's going to be slow. Smallest crash ever. Well, not quite, but still. I will be time trialing this now. Well, in a moment. I should give these a try while I've got them out. Like, it actually sounds like Maxwell in this car. That's what I find amusing, but only off power. Sounds like Maxwell crying, but only when you lift off. It doesn't have a whole lot of any kind of sound once you get going, initially. And then we've got this. This was the last one I built before. I think this might have 6 gears, but it weighs a lot. It weighs over 2 tons, and it's a massive SUV. Also, it's got a 4x4 system, which I have to remember. It's a 2-litre, like, it's a 2-litre VD10 or something, but it's got a massive supercharger on, so it still makes 400 horse. But man, this is like, you do not want to catch it out of gear. Because there's just a lack of torque overall, I guess, for the weight. Don't know, there seems to be some kind of micro stutter going on, and I don't like that at all. But I can't really try and reinstalling my driver or anything halfway through the stream. As long as it works, that's what we've got to work with. So we will go free roam, not free roam, we want to go to the time trials. Go automation test track, racetrack circuit is what we use. We've got 3 laps and we'll find the latest vehicle. Should be somewhere here. It's so easy to like find, and yet I keep missing it. So let's have a wait while this tries to load in, and it takes a while because that's how it goes. I just hope this isn't like too loud or too quiet. I mean, I'll have to give it a bit of a rev out before I drive it. There is no traction assists or anything as far as I know. You don't even get ABS. So this thing had better slow well around the corners. I think I could probably make it a little quieter, but I don't know. It's already pretty quiet. I think it's okay as it is. So we will be getting going now. As I say, I'm going to just use paddle shift here because, you know what, I could probably even leave it in auto mode. I don't think I'm going to lose that much. I could probably actually just shift worse than auto mode could. You see, like, you cannot be going uphill or anything. It just has nothing in second gear. So I'm really going to have to rely on this just having the go. You see, like, it eventually picks up, but you're running at like 150 horse or so you can tell that as well. Like, it has its moments. I might just have to lengthen the first gear even more than I already have, or tighten up the final drive, or some combination of the two, because this does not go. I can go flat out there because it's just not building speed. I think this car takes being pushed hard quite well, but it just doesn't get into second gear for a while. Once it's there, like once it's at 4,000 plus RPM, the thing really does go, but it doesn't go the best up to that speed. As I say, I think like the best way I can manage it is just keep the revs up in second gear and try and like carry the revs from like 4,000 plus. Oh dear. I would blame myself normally there. It managed to just about stop itself running into damage, but it's, you see, that's the issue. I can try going in manual. I think there is a rev limiter here that I added, so it will cap itself off if I do hit the rev limit. Okay, I think that's how I have to drive it. It builds speed okay if I get to the absolute limit of first gear before shifting. If I don't do that, it loses far too much speed to be competitive. But I have learned. I have not thrown this into a wall quite, so... You see, you have to let it, like, max out first gear, though, as I say, or it just doesn't go. And then there's even the slightest hill really plays against this. So I'm going to have to try and go. There we go. Like, you have to be going at least 2,500 RPM, or you just get nothing out of it. Come on. I mean, it's gaining speed there, but it's just not liking it. You have to carry as much speed as you possibly can. And that's so hard to do. That's why I feel this probably won't be the quickest car. The Toasty Wheels made far less power, but that thing was very light, and the engine apparently cut out there. Okay, so it can go up to about 65 before shifting. I should use that full speed if possible. Come on. As much speed as I possibly can around there. As long as you're carrying over 60, it seems to get some pickup. But the moment you drop below 60 miles per hour, there's pretty much no speed. So, we've got 100 and something. Once it gets going, though, it's not bad. Like you see here, it's actually extremely solid at speed. I reckon attributed to the incredible, amount of just, not aerodynamics, but suspension and stuff. Oh dear, what have I done? The Maxwell mobile is fine. I would say, like, I need to give it another lap here. Somehow I feel this car has bigger issues. Oh, so the brakes, I didn't actually notice it had no ABS. I can give it that compliment. Despite everything I've done, the thing is still going. I mean, the gearbox is an issue. If this had like a 5-speed, it would be brilliant. But I feel it's going to be so restricted to top speed because it just doesn't have enough gears. Like, even with the issues I've developed for handling my poor driving. And what ultimately led to that, it was just me trying to push this car desperately quicker than it wanted to go. It is not a bad thing to drive in the slightest. I'd lie if I said that, but I feel it's going to be slower than other vehicles just because it does not like going. You can do something, but I feel I'm honestly better off restricting this to like 150 miles per hour. As it stands, it doesn't even get close to that. And I can go back in and tune it. Like, as per my own rules, I do not want to change what the wheel has selected. But I can change the other stuff, like how it's tuned. And you see there, I was below the shift point in second gear. It did not like it, even though it was only a few miles per hour. The tune on this is so extreme. Like, I don't feel I'm even going to be losing a particular amount of speed just to how messed up this is. It feels like it's almost there. If I were willing to sacrifice a bit of outright speed, maybe. Sacrifice a little bit of top end and maybe sacrifice a little bit of acceleration at the same time, maybe. And this would be a lot better to drive. It's just never going to be a good thing for outright speed. And it's one of those things, I wouldn't normally ask for brute power in a car, but if this had a turbo, that could probably make up for it. Oh dear, we almost hit that wall there. The handling is broken on this. Like, that was just me going, trying to make fine handling tweaks, and it kind of paid off. The lack of ABS doesn't help around these corners, though. Like, that is really going to help with speed. It's like, the worst part is I really want to like this car, but it's hard to like it when it's in this much of a state with the transmission. I knew the transmission was going to hurt it. I didn't know it was going to hurt it this much. I thought it was just going to be slow. But it has genuinely seemed to, like, ruin the car. Somehow I missed both those walls with, like, the poorest one in. And you see, my mind wants to shift, but it shouldn't shift at those kinds of speeds because it just loses all speed. And it's also like, sure, if you have a 2-speed auto in a car that's not supposed to go quick and has very limited grip, it's harder to complain about it because, you know, the car's not going to be quick anyway. This has potential to go very fast. The front-wheel drive obviously isn't hurting this engine. It's the transmission that is. Like I said, the same transmission but with 5 gears, this car would have been a very different story. Even 4 gears, it would have been a very different story to how it is with 2. I wonder how quick this thing will actually be. I don't think any of the laps were quick, I'll be honest here. So much messing around for like very little gain. Trying to get this faster. Yeah, so on the final lap, honestly, it did all laps I think quicker than the biblically accurate minion, but then I was slow overall. So where has this done for independent laps? So 2:34 was the best I got. The Fabulous Roadster, that was really quick, although not built on stream. So the Toasty Wheels Turbo, which I tend to keep comparing everything to. If I look here, what was the fastest the Toasty Wheels Turbo did? So that is the fastest Toasty Wheels Turbo is 2:28. No, 2:25. That was the fastest for that car. 2:22 for the Maxwell mobile, which is quicker. You see, so we're looking at a car here that's like almost 10 seconds slower. 9 to 10 seconds slower than the Toasty Wheels Turbo, which that car had less potential than this, and that's not what I meant to bring up. The Toasty Wheels Turbo had less, how would you say it? Had less potential outright than this, I would say. And I need to stop spinning it. But the Toasty Wheels Turbo had... Maxwell is lighting up. The Toasty Wheels Turbo had one thing going for it. And that's that it was usable. Like, it had 4 gears. I don't know. It's like, am I clicking on that? No, it's like, okay. I've got it back on the game. So, the Toasty Wheels Turbo... Where was that? I will find it, because I keep comparing it to everything. I might as well bring it up. Spawn new. As you can see, I went full out on the interior build on the latest one compared to this, which I think is a decent design, but you're not talking in interior or anything. This has the carburetor, which stops it making any kind of power, but in all other ways is good. And as I say, suspension config, we're looking the same thing pretty much. We're looking at multi-link rear, double wishbone front. This is also made of steel, whereas this is made of aluminium. But they're so similar, yet so different. That's a 5-cylinder, this is a 10-cylinder, that's a supercharger, this is NA. And that's quicker, just because you can put the power down. If this would, believe me, be the quicker of the two, if it could put the power down. They also look like they have very similar headlights. No, but the two of them, like, if this could put the power down, if this had a better transmission, a 4-speed, 5-speed, even a 3-speed, it would be so much better than the Toasty Wheels. But it's got like one of the worst transmissions in the game. Not the absolute worst, but one of them. And that is why the thing is as slow as it is. It's a shame, really. But anyway, I will be leaving it here for today. I mean, the car files will be out there for anyone who wants to fix this thing. And I'll say goodbye until another day.